Well, Raptor fans, not a very good way to end the scrimmage part of the Raptors season, but it doesn't really matter. Raptors lose to the Phoenix Suns there this afternoon, and it wasn't very pretty. You know, right from the get-go, I think the Raptors had like one lead in this game, and it was only by like 1 or 2, so it wasn't a really good game for the Toronto Raptors. They did claw back here and there, but really just not a very pretty basketball game if you're a Toronto Raptor fan. A lot of turnovers, something like 25 to 30 turnovers in this game, and a lot of points off of those turnovers. So again, not very pretty, just an ugly game all around. But I'm just going to sit here and say this. Does it really matter? No. Is that game going to show up in the box score? Is that game going to impact the playoff spot? No. So it doesn't really matter. Yes, people can sit here and say, well, if you practice like this and you play an exhibition game like this, you're going to play like this in the regular season. Well, do you know the Raptors? Do you really believe they're going to play like that again? They're not. Trust me on that one. They are not playing like that again, and that's fine. I'd rather them do that now. Heck, I'd rather them have had 3 garbage games than have a terrible playoff series. It doesn't matter. Now, let's take some positives out of this game, okay? Because there's always positives to take from a down game. So, the first thing is that the Raptors were able to up their minutes for their starters. And a lot of people will be like, James, what does that have to do with anything? Well, come this 8-game stretch that we have coming up, and a very tough one at that, and going into the playoffs, you want your guys as ready for, anything to be fired at them. So if you play them 10, 15 minutes a game, that's great. They're nice and rested. But if you play the Lakers on Saturday night and they got to play 35-40, they're going to be gassed. And they're not going to be ready for it. And you're probably going to lose if that's the case. So up in their minutes, they were all the starters and a few other guys were above 20 minutes in the game. That's what you want to see. Now, how do specific players do? Why that Siakam was really good today. He was making a lot of shots. He was great in the post, as he always is. I thought Norman Powell finally looked good in his first scrimmage game. He wasn't the greatest in the first 2, but it was really good to see him get it. When Norman Powell gets his explosion on his first step, that is when he is at his best. And you saw that today. You saw really early in the game when he had that nice dunk off the catch. Right, he got the catch and then drove right to the basket, lost his defender, and was able to throw it down. And you could tell from that moment that he had that oomph, and he was able to get it going. He didn't do the greatest. He was like 5 of 7 at one point in the game. He was knocking down shots. He was pretty good. Guys like Ibaka was a monster. Great to see Gasol get his minutes doubled from the last game. Did he get a little tired? Possibly. He's going to realize Marc Gasol lost a ton of weight, so it might have been nothing for him. I don't know. But points-wise, you know what you're going to get from Marc Gasol. You know what you're going to get night in, night out from him. The rebounding, I think he had 9 boards in the game today, so really in only 20 minutes, so he did a good job on the glass. I think he had somewhat like at least two blocks in the game today, and they were nice ones too. And DeAndre Ayton didn't give Ayton anything on the inside, and that's what Marc Gasol does. He makes other bigs work. We've seen it with Joel Embiid. He makes guys work, and even Giannis, and he just makes it so difficult for them to get any sort of offense going, and you saw that with DeAndre Ayton today. He also had like 4 dimes as well. That's what Marc Gasol does. He may not score a lot of points. He'll grab you some rebounds. He'll move the ball well. He might get some blocks in the game, and he'll just be an all-around really smart player. And he showed that in the 20 minutes that he played today. Fred VanVleet, he left the game actually in the last one with an injury, came back today, looked okay, struggled a little bit numbers-wise, but again, Fred VanVleet, great to see him back out there and put up the minutes like we wanted to see, and to see him get back into game shape, and that's exactly what you want from Fred VanVleet, especially since, you haven't been playing for so long, and then you lose part of a game, you want to get him right back in there so he can get that energy up, but obviously, you want him to be healthy. And Kyle Lowry was great. He's a dog every single game, whether it's inter squad. I don't think they might have had some inter squad games, but nothing televised. Whether it was an exhibition game, playoff, it doesn't matter. Kyle Lowry, he took a charge in the All-Star game, for goodness sakes, right? He had at least 1 or 2 of them today. He knocked down a couple threes. Lowry looked all right. I thought he was pretty good in this one. But again, the overall defense from the team is kind of a little sloppy. Obviously, the turnover is a big factor of that. OG looked really good today. He was very active on defense, had a couple of really nice blocks in the game today. And offensively, he was looking a lot more nimble than he's been used to being for the Toronto Raptors. So it was really nice to see up there for him. Bench-wise, Baco is obviously a beast always. I mean, I don't even need to bring him up because it's just the way he is right now, and I love the way Serge Ibaka is playing basketball. Hollis-Jefferson, Terrence Davis, Matt Thomas, all the guys that we've been kind of looking at through the first two games and saying, these guys are impressing, they weren't the greatest today. And that, when you don't have a bench like that, especially how good the Phoenix Suns were playing, you got to give them credit because they were playing extremely well. It's a tough one. And that's the way it happens, guys. You can't look at these guys and say they can't play well every single night, right? They weren't great today. You lost the game. You turn the ball over a ton. You know what you just do to that? You crumple it up into a ball and you throw it out. That's the way it is. And then you go into this game against LA on a Saturday night and say, okay, now this is for real. Let's get this thing done. And why not the Toronto Raptors? Why not? You heard Kendrick Perkins, who seems to be in love with the Toronto Raptors, which, hey, we're in love with him at that point. And Mike Wilbon on PTI, he says, him and Perk say the Raptors are the favorites out of the Eastern Conference. Because the Raptors have what it takes to face up against the Milwaukee Bucks. They have so many different things. Nick Nurse has so many things up his sleeves. He's going to win Coach of the Year. If he doesn't, there's a conspiracy against that. There has to be. Those guys are saying that. We're saying that. I mean, we're Raptor fans, so of course we're going to think that. But I truly believe this Raptor team has what it takes to prove everyone wrong yet again. No Kawhi, no Danny Green, no problem. This team has got it. They have that it factor. They have the champ. You can never count out a champion. You do that, you get hurt. You count out Tom Brady, as people did every year. What does he do? Come back and just make you look stupid, right? And it's happened in so many different sports. Raptor fans, we counted out LeBron James back in that final year where we got swept before everything turned around. We're like, we beat them in the regular season. They're not the same team they once were. LeBron's getting a little bit older. We feel good. Nope, out in 4 you get swept. You can never count out a champion. And that's fine. People can count the Raptors out. The NBA can give the Raptors the hardest 8-game schedule, winning percentage-wise, in the whole league. I don't care. Because you know what, Raptor fans? Everyone can get mad. We might lose some games. This might affect our seeding. You know what this is going to do? You know where that compete level for the Raptors is going to go? Right up there. If you have some big teams with some easy schedules, and then they're going to hop into a playoff game, okay, let's see how that goes. For the Raptors, they're going to be in playoff mode on Saturday against the Los Angeles Lakers. And from every game thereon. I think they play the Orlando Magic and they play the Memphis Grizzlies, two teams that are fairly low in the standings. But other than those two teams, you're playing top-notch opponents. You play Boston, Philly, Milwaukee, Denver, the Lakers. You got some really good tests. And possibly some playoff matchups. Possibly 2 playoff matchups in there. Who knows? All I know is that even though the Raptors have a very tough schedule, why not Toronto? Why not? And we'll get into this more into the season preview because I will be doing one, even though there's only 8 games in the season. I do want to touch on, the specific games, what my expectations are for those games, where I think the Raptors can go record-wise in that time, and just go from there. I'll be doing that probably on the Friday nights or Friday afternoon, something like that for you guys. I'm just giving you a heads up now that will be happening before the game on Saturday night against the Lakers. All right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and did not enjoy the basketball game today, but are excited to watch real-time basketball on Saturday against the Lakers, smack that like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the game today. Do you look anything into it or do you not? Because I do not. I don't even really look anything into the Portland or Houston series. Games, it's just, hey, you won. Doesn't matter. What are your thoughts, guys? Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. I already said that once. Doesn't matter. Comment down below everything, Raptor fans. Go crazy. All right, Twitter's down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. Also, Instagram link is down in the description. If you have not followed up the Instagram page, please go do so. The link is down in the description. All right, and I will talk to you guys Leafs edition tonight as they're facing off against the Montreal Canadiens in their one and only scrimmage game before their playoffs kick off on the Saturday? Is it Saturday or Sunday against Columbus? I'll have to look into that, guys, but as you can tell, it's all been basketball and all been baseball right now, but tonight it's going to turn into some hockey, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll talk to you guys tonight, Leafs edition. As for the Blue Jays, they actually first pitch between the Blue Jays and the Nationals start in about 20 minutes, so I'll be doing a video for you guys post-game there as the Blue Jays look to win Game 2 of the 4-game set against the Nats and go 3-2 on the year. Tanner Roark on the mound facing his former squad for the first time in D.C. All right, and as for the Toronto Raptors, I will talk to you guys next, probably on Friday afternoon, as we'll be doing kind of a little bit of a season preview for the final 8 games of the regular season for the Toronto Raptors. Hope you guys are excited, because I know I am. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Talk to you guys then.